And now to Lanesborough, where police responded to reports of an armed robbery earlier this morning. That incident happening on Route 7 near the Lanesborough and New Ashford town line around 6 a.m. The victim was traveling southbound when they stopped to check on a vehicle on the right shoulder of the roadway. And as the victim approached the car, two men exited the vehicle and one of them pressed a gun to the victim's head. The suspects then robbed the victim, returned to their car, and drove away. The suspect's car was described as a dark-colored older model pickup truck with some rust, a ladder rack, and a Vermont license plate. The Lanesborough Police Department is now asking anyone with any information or footage of the incident to contact their department.
New at